Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Susan from Unity Fitness and Yoga. In today's yoga practice, we will be celebrating the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, which we passed through this week. This season is a season of rebirth, of growth, of renewal. And that's a lot what our practice will be focused on today. We will do a yin practice, and for yin, this is where we take a posture and we hold it for a long period of time, shooting for upwards of 5 minutes today. So if you have any yoga props, go ahead and grab those. Blocks are a great idea. Bolster or a firm cushion from your couch or bed. And as well a blanket. And these are just to be able to support your body during the longer holds. There will be also quite a bit of quiet time where I'm not speaking so much. So I absolutely invite you to put on some cool tunes in the background, just something to give your attention to a bit. And we'll be starting seated. We'll do an opening meditation and then we'll get into the postures. As we move through our postures today, just like spring, right? We're going to start out really small and closed off like a seed. And then gradually we're going to open up, working into some supported back bends and heart openers toward the end of our practice. So I really hope that you enjoy this practice today. Just giving yourself an opportunity to slow down and add a little bit of balance to your yoga practice, to the yang, all of the activity and energy that we're moving through day in and day out. So please take a comfortable seat, sitting upright. You can rest the hands on the thighs or in the lap. And this opening meditation will be about 5 minutes. If it's comfortable, close your eyes. Just rest them softly on a single unmoving object. Invite your body to soften. If you like, turn your palms face up. This is a gesture of receptivity and openness, just resting the backs of the hands on the thighs, on the knees. This meditation is meant as a practice of opening to all that this new season has to offer us. Let's begin to turn your awareness to your breath, letting it be natural and unefforted. Spring is a time of renewal, a time of rebirth. As you stay with your steady, even breath, consider what you are welcoming in as you enter this new phase of light and life. One of my favorite quotes this time of year, all times of year. But I'm reminded of it, especially in spring. It goes like this. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. It's flowers, like our intention. What intention are you setting for yourself at this time of budding energy and existence? Let's today set a spring intention. And if you can, narrow that intention down to just one word. Maybe one single word like joy or abundance. And as we continue through our opening meditation, as well as our practice, on each inhale, internally and silently say to yourself, I am, and then your intention word. If you chose joy, it would sound like, I am joyful as you inhale. Or I am abundant. And then on each exhalation, allow your intention to radiate through your body, through your mind, through your spirit. Infusing your intention into your breath and into your being. When your mind wanders, just simply return to this repetition. I am joyful. I am abundant, whatever your word is. Continue this meditation for just a little while longer. Keep coming back to your intention. Keep infusing it into and through your breath. Using that intention as a basis for growing flowers, not weeds in the mind. Slowly allow the repetition to subside. Just remaining still, allowing your breath to deepen. And slowly blink your eyes open. And give yourself permission to continue with this intention, this mantra throughout our practice and throughout your day. We'll take our first posture, child's pose. Just like entering into this season of spring, starting closed off like a seed. So child's pose, set the hips to the heels. Bring the upper body down. If the forehead comfortably reaches the ground, that's great. If it doesn't, you might stack your hands, make fists, stack them. You could use a yoga block or a blanket. Maybe the arms extend forward. Allow yourself to settle in. Taking this first little bit while we're in the posture, while we've just arrived, to make any adjustments, right? If you find that the thighs are too close together and you need to separate slightly, maybe you find that you need to add some support under the knees or behind the knees, under the forehead. Make those adjustments. And then eventually, settle in. Settling into the stillness.
Be like the seed, budding with potential. With all of the possibility of what could be. Feel free to come back, and I invite you to come back to your intention. Continue to infuse your intention into and through your breath, through your body, through your mind. The intention, a little bit like just the seed, the fertilizer, the mind of the garden, or the garden of the mind, right? Keep coming back to it. A little while longer here. Staying still, cool, calm, quiet. Breathing into and through any of those places in your body that feel tense or tight. Hold. Your next inhalation. Walk the hands back towards your knees. Use the arms to slowly press yourself up. Scooch over onto your bottom. We'll take caterpillar pose. Caterpillar pose. We extend the two legs out. And then we'll essentially fold over the legs. Now, some options here for caterpillar. Everyone can extend their legs out, right? Sometimes you extend the legs out straight and you kind of get sucked backwards. So bend your knees as much as you need to. Here is where a blanket can be really helpful. Something to roll up and put underneath the backs of the knees for a little bit of support. You could also use this blanket to elevate the hips if that gives you a little comfort. Another option might be if you have a bolster or a big cushion or a pillow, you could place this on top of the legs to allow your upper body to rest. So take a moment, figure out what variation of this posture works for you, and then get yourself settled in. Don't worry, I will have the timer going. So even when it gets really quiet in the practice, fear not, I will be here to bring us out on time. So settle yourself in, make your way in using, I usually recommend about the first minute of the posture to make any adjustments, get all the wriggles and the wiggles out. Oh my gosh, my body feels so tight this morning. And then as you decide how deep to go into the pose, what I'd like you to do is find your first sensation of stretch. And then stay. That's the soft edge, just staying at the soft edge and knowing that over time,
The body will open. Body will soften. We've settled in, we've been here a little over a minute now. Relax the feet, the legs, the hips, the spine. Back to your breathing. Back to your springtime intention. Continue infusing the intention into your breath. Remember, our practice started out small, seed. Gradually opening. Moving through caterpillar. We'll progress to butterfly. And gradually making our way to some heart movements. Keep tuning back into the body. If you notice areas of tension or holding, can you consciously soften and relax? If you notice the mind wandering, can you consciously and kindly come back to your intention, using that springtime intention, hold you here in the present. Next inhalation, using the hands, the arms, slowly upright. We won't change the shape too much. We'll go from caterpillar to butterfly. So let's bend to the knees, bring the soles of your feet together. And we'll drop again into a forward bend. Now, here's some options for butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together, knees open. If you bring the knees in closer to you, you'll get a deeper stretch, inner thigh and groin. If you take the feet a little bit farther away, the stretch will shift into outer hips and thighs. So decide which is the most appropriate for your body today. I'm going to choose a little bit farther away, but you do you. You could also, really lovely way to use your yoga blocks if you have them, is to support outer thighs or knees. You could also use them underneath the forehead or anything in between. As well, take blocks and just let the arms, the hands, the forearms rest. We're practicing Yin Yoga. One of the underlying principles of Yin is stillness. After we move through the fidgeting phase, right, we're kind of adjusting our body, adjusting our props. As best as you can after that, completely settle into stillness. Relax the feet, legs, hips, the low back, spine, shoulders. Feel free to let the head drop down. Also be supporting the forehead with a block or a prop. And as you notice the mind begin to wander, which it will, it's just the thing the mind does. Remind yourself of the seeds that you are planting, the potential, through your intention. Each and every time that you notice you're wandering, back to your intention today. Your next inhalation. Slowly use the arms to press yourself up. Removing any props might have had around. Spraying yourself slowly on. I'm going to turn sideways towards you. You can adjust yourself on your mat as well if you like. Start by taking the feet out really nice and wide. Just do a little bit of dynamic movement, just dropping the knees side to side. I'm using the hands back behind for support, just gentle and easy, just moving through. And then the next time that you have both knees over to your left, stay there. So both knees are over to your left. Aim for the knees to both be about 90 degrees. So we're looking for kind of like 90-degree bends here, just within reason, right? You do what works for your body. And this is deer pose. So it's an upright twist that involves internal and external rotation of the hips. Now you decide where to go from here. This is a much shorter hold. We're only going to be here for 1 minute on each side. So you can stay upright. You might have the hands on the outside of the thigh. You might have them more around the knee. Whatever works for you. You can even fold forward over the left knee or stay more upright and twist. Some of that is just feeling out in your body what's appropriate.
Even though there's a lot going on here, right? Because we're upright, body all moving in different directions, there tends to be a lot of muscle energy here. So as best as you can, even within the holding of the shape, soften and relax. Soften, release any tension, holding. Got about one more breath here. We'll take this to the other side. Inhale, back up. Let your knees go the other direction. Again, aiming for, it doesn't have to be exact, but just kind of looking at your legs. We're looking for things to be about 90-degree bends. And then once more, you decide whether you're going to kind of fold down over the right knee, or you stay more upright and take it into more of a twist. Actually, they're both twisting, but just different degrees. One more deep breath here. All the way back upright. We'll take a deeper twist now, and we'll take this one reclined on your backs. So go ahead and come down onto your back. We'll take a posture called twisted roots. Lie down. Let's begin by hugging the two knees into the chest. You might like to rock a little bit side to side. And then we'll keep the knees lifted, crossing your, let's do the left side first. So let's do the left thigh on top of the right thigh. So the legs are crossed. We'll keep the feet up and lifted, and then drop both knees over to your left. So the right one is up on top, okay? Arms can go out like a T with the palms up. Now, as you first arrive, this is your opportunity to decide what props you might like. Do you want to support your body, or is it fine the way that it is? I'm going to take the blanket and just bring it to the outside of the thigh. There's a little bit of extra support. Now, notice that I'm keeping the thighs crossed as we drop into this twist. Make any adjustments you like to arms, right? You might like to place the right arm either straight out or bend to the elbow. You know what? This isn't feeling right to me. I think a little flub here. Bring your knees back up. I've got things going the wrong way, right? This is the joys of yoga. I don't know where my brain is right now at this moment, but bring your knees back up. My bad. Oh, don't worry, I'll restart the timer here. So we've got the left leg on top. I want you to drop both knees over to the right, so the left leg is on top still. Oy vey. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. So the left arm is the one out. You can stretch it, bend it, whatever you like. Any support underneath the legs that are over to the right side, so your left one's up on top, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. This is the joys of live, right? The live recording. I'm only human. So you know what, we're just gonna let that go, right? Come back into your practice, into your shape. Settle in, come back to your intention.
Mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers, or you can grow weeds. What are you planting in the garden of your mind? Twists are associated with a detoxification of letting go. So as you're hearing this twist on this side, as well as when we go to side two, you might, in your mind, do those things that maybe don't support your intention or the way that you see yourself in the world through your intention. And can you let that go? Letting go of those things that no longer serve you, that no longer serve your intention. I often find that those things that I need to let go of look like self-criticism, self-doubt, judgment. Let it go. Let it all go. And come back to infusing your breath, your mind, body with your intention. A little bit longer here, just a few more breaths. On an inhalation, slow. Start to untwist, feeling all the feels along the way. Come out slowly, uncross the legs. I'd like to hug those knees back into your chest again, side to side. If you used any props on side one, go ahead and move them over to side two. They're ready for you. Whether you choose to use it or not is your call. So we'll hug the knees in. This time, right leg is going to go over left. So crossing the legs deeply. Keep the thighs crossed as you drop both knees over to your left. So the right one is on top. Adjusting the arms. Deciding where the right arm goes, whether it's straight out or you bend to the elbow. The gaze could be straight up. You could turn more deeply into the twist, turning head to the right. More deep.
into the places that you feel tense or tight or holding. Consciously soften, relax, release. Letting go. Letting go in this twist of those things that no longer support your intention, your spring intention. And a while longer here, a couple more breaths. Very slowly. Untwist yourself. Back onto your back. Unwrap your legs. Just pause for a moment with the 2 feet on the floor. Might let the knees tent together. Just letting the spine return to more neutral. Blocks for our next posture. We'll take a supported bridge pose. So you could use 1 or 2 blocks. If you don't have a yoga block, a great substitute is a really firm cushion or a couple of rolled up blankets or folded blankets. You'll use whatever support you have underneath your hips or the sacrum. So for today, I'll actually be using 2 blocks and I'm going to stack them together on their lowest height. So first start by bringing the feet about hips distance apart. I'm going to lift those hips up and then stacking the blocks, bringing them up. Bringing them up so they're right underneath the sacrum. So this will be just above the tailbone. The sacrum is that triangular bone, the back of the hip. So it's not the vertebrae. Right now, I'm using 2 blocks, but you do what works best for your body, which might be 1 block. It might be 1 block on its lowest setting, perfectly fine. It could be a rolled up blanket, just inching the hips up. Let's pause here. So a support, oops, I can get the timer going. A supported back bend, heart opener. Remember, in our opening, I said we're starting small and closed off like a seed and gradually working our way into heart openers, just opening the front of the body. We're here a little bit shorter, just 3 minutes in supported bridge pose. You might choose to keep your arms alongside the body, Or it's actually really lovely, if it's appropriate for you, take your arms up overhead. Or maybe just taking the arms straight out like a T, it's fine as well. It's a really lovely decompression of the lumbar spine, low back. Now, of course, if there is any pinching or discomfort in the low back, then you can skip the supported back bend. Right? Maybe just take it a little bit lower. Always remembering that I am just up here guiding. If something is not appropriate for your body, you always have permission to skip it. Or to substitute something that might work better for you. One more breath. Slowly lifting the hips off the support. Slide the blocks or whatever you're using out of the way and slowly lower the hips all the way down. And once more, just pause for a second. Let the spine return to neutral before we do anything else. So let the hips come down, keep the feet on the floor, the knees bent and tenting. Come to another back bend, another supported back bend. Please roll over to your side. Press yourself up to sit. We'll need to come up to sit so that we can adjust our props or decide what to do. So next we'll take supported fish pose, Matsyasana. I like to use 2 yoga blocks for this, but I understand that not everyone has the yoga blocks. So some options. I'll show you the options, the other options first, and then I'll settle into just blocks. So option 1, if what you have is a blanket or a block, so a block or a bolster or a pillow, something like that. So you can see I've taken my yoga blanket and I've just made like a little burrito roll. And I'll place this lengthwise. And then I can ease into it. As I ease into it, I'm aiming the bottom edge to about bottom of the shoulder blade or the line area. And then resting head and shoulders back so my shoulder blades kind of melt around the support, and then I extend the legs long with the arms alongside of me. All right. So that's option 1. Use a bigger or a smaller support to fit your body to suit you. If you're using the yoga blocks, you'll take the 2 yoga blocks and place them. This is the start, right? You can always adjust it. I like to place them on their middle height at about the distance of the tip of my thumb and the tip of my pinky. I find that that's the right one for me. And then I would do the same thing. Ease my way back,
So the first edge of the block is right about at the base of my shoulder blades. And then as I lie back, my shoulder blades flatten out against the block and head lands on that top one. And again, I just straighten the legs out and allow the arms to come by the sides. So find something that works for you, for your body, for this lovely supported heart opener. Whatever you've chosen as you recline back. Just as we did with the support underneath the hips, with the support under the shoulder blades, you should feel pretty comfy, right? We shouldn't be crimping or feeling any pinching anywhere. If it is, then you might need to just adjust the height of your support, maybe the type of support that you have. But eventually, we'll allow our body to settle in. Settle as you soften. Coming back to your breath, to your breathing. Back to your springtime intention. Keep infusing it into your practice. Keep infusing it into your mind, into your body, into your spirit. Maybe those weeds keep popping up, right? They just do. Those weeds are like the now negative thoughts, self-doubt, the criticism. They're going to continue to come up. Keep pulling those out. Let it go. Replace that with your intention. Shining our heart open to the sky, open to the sunlight. Supporting this season of regrowth, rebirth, rejuvenation. Softening anywhere in the body that needs softening, needs release. Consciously let the tension go. Your next inhalation, bend the knees, bring your 2 feet to the floor. Remind yourself that you're elevated on something. And slowly roll to one side or the other, supporting on the forearm, on the elbow, and then use both arms to press yourself up slowly. We're only coming up just long enough to remove our props. As you remove the props, we're going to come lying back down again.
all the way down onto your backs. Soles of the feet come together once more. Let the knees drop open, arms either out by the sides, up overhead, bend them, straighten them, you decide. And we've arrived at our final posture before Shavasana, reclined butterfly. This is one of the first postures that we did, but we did an upright variation. And you might recall, when we did that one, I offered a variation to use your blocks to support the knees or the thighs, especially if there's too much pull on the inner thigh and groin. Feel free to do that here as well, okay? Turning to your springtime intention, infusing it into your being. And joyful, abundant, peace, patience. Keep coming back to your intention, to the seed that you're planting in the garden of your mind. That's you. Inhale, look at your hands to the outer thighs. Lift the knees up. Before we settle into Shavasana, let's take just the littlest bit of movement. Widen the feet out so you can drop the knees side to side. Kind of like that deer pose that we did earlier, but we did it upright. We're just taking it reclined, just letting the knees go side to side. Feels really great to me in the hips. Go back. Then as you're ready to settle in, extend the legs long on your mat. Let the feet flop open. Let the arms come by your sides, turn them up. Let's take a full deep breath in together. Part the lips. Soft sigh. Let's do that again. Full breath in. Let everything go. Let it all go. Just allow yourself these few moments in Shavasana to just simply be. Time for a more extended Shavasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. You can join me in closing out, bending the knees. Roll to one side or the other, pause. Sit, maybe even doing all of that, coming upright with eyes still closed. And as you come upright, please join the hands in Anjali Mudra, palm against palm, bowing chin to your chest. In a gesture of gratitude. Always infusing your intention, a little bit of gratitude. As always, I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.